Kajal, you can start the session.
Good evening, everyone. I'm CA Kajal Kaur, a recently qualified chartered accountant in 2022. I'm currently working with PwC SGC as an associate too. And I welcome you all in our second day of Excel training program, which was organized by Team CASA. Our today's topic is Office 365, in which we are going to learn about sequences, images, filter functions, and many more things. And it is organized by Team CASA, which was founded by C.A. Sumit Garg sir in 2010. And since then, it is doing various activities for members. And C.A. Sumit Garg sir is very dedicated towards members' upliftment rounds of the corner. He has also been served as an NISC members for last 6 years as well. So I would like to call C.A. Sumit sir to add few words on them.
Thank you, Kajal, for wonderful introduction. And good evening, everyone. As we already know, today is the second day, and definitely we will learn so many things. So, if you have any problem, I hope Nikita will address all those issues. She has one bonus feature also she has added, including rounding off. इसकी कैलकुलेशन में हम लोग कहीं ना कहीं आज की डेट में उलझे हुए हैं. फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट को राउंडिंग ऑफ में प्रिपेयर करना है, तो सी विल एड्रेस दोज इश्यूज आल्सो. एंड she is perfect and expert knowledge in the field of Excel, so definitely we will learn today's session as well. और कोई भी issue है, you can post your query in the chat box. Kajal will take up all those queries. So uh, now I request Kajal ji to introduce our guest speaker for
म्यूट करके अपना तुम बोलो कि आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Now it's time to welcome our speaker of the day, CA Nikita Maheshwari ma'am. She has qualified as a chartered accountancy in May 2019 and currently working with Gurgaon branch of Hire Gange and Associates. She has been associated with the Hire Gange and Associates since 2016 and handled various assignments of service tax and VAT there. Even headed various assignments of GST as well. She has been part of UAE VAT assessment team, handled various assignments there as well, and presently involved in audit and consultancy wings of HNA with focus on GST review, audit and consultancy, audit and compliance work. Hello, is my voice is audible?
Yes, Kajal voice is audible. I think Shama Chaudhary ji voice is coming to everyone. Please fix up your system again, and voice is perfect. You can continue.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am is presently involved in audit and consultancy wings of HNA with focus on GST review, audit and compliance of various industries like FMCGs and service industries. She is heavily engaged in increasing reliance on technology to ease the complex data handling work as well. Now, I would like to call C. Nikita ma'am to add few words and start the session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and thank you to Team CASA and Sumit sir for giving me this opportunity. Very glad that everybody could join at this time and learn about Excel, because it is just one thing, ma'am. So sorry to interrupt. If you can just message there, because I think Sharma sir is not able to hear us. So if you can just message, he's not able to hear us, that the session is going on in the voices. Okay. So in the meantime. Yes.
Nikita, I have address. I think voice is coming to everyone. Nikita,
I think he's not able to hear, so he's not able to add comments also.
She can rejoin so that voice can come with any problem.
Right. Okay. So we'll continue. So like I was saying, thank you for everyone to join the session. And I hope this is an interactive session. If there's any doubt, if there's any point, and like Sumit sir said that we are already facing some rounding of issues in the financial statements. So although I'm not very well versed in financial statements, being from GST background all through and through, I will try my best to address that issue. If there's any doubt, if there's anything, feel free to unmute, feel free to ask me all those questions. At the end of the session, we'll also keep some normal Q&A with general problems which we are facing, and I'll try to address them as to the best of my abilities. So let me just share my screen here. Just a second. I hope my mouse is visible to all and it's properly presented. So we'll be pointing at certain things and certain places for that. So today's coverage that we have discussed here is XLOOKUP, unique, filter, and sort functions. Using all those together is also something that we'll be doing today. Then using the text split and text join function, which has recently been introduced. Text split has recently 2-3 months back been introduced in Office 365, and it is of great importance to all of us that we'll be again discussing. The rounding off function and where we can apply it to whatever best possible methods we can apply that we'll be using. The sequence, image, and as Sumit sir said, that bonus content, something special for all the attendees. So we'll be discussing those things. So let's just dive into the XLOOKUP function. Now, what our process of understanding this would be that, just a second. Yeah. So now what, I hope my screen is properly visible. If ma'am, you can confirm once. So I'm guessing my screen is visible and I'm continuing with the session. Right. So let's discuss what XLOOKUP actually means. Now, I'm sure every one of us have already used VLOOKUP somewhere or the other in work. We do need it to see what figure is coming from which account. We need it on a shortcut basis and everything. But VLOOKUP, as you may know, has certain fundamental limitations, which due to which we have to sometimes moderate our data. We have to sometimes tweak it a bit. We have to use it with different formulas to come up with a powerful VLOOKUP formula. I request the participants to mute themselves once. Yeah. So if there's anything, you can unmute and ask. Otherwise, just requesting you to let it be on mute only. Right. So we were discussing the limitations, or I would say the problems of VLOOKUP. Wherever we had problems in the past, they could be solved with a little bit of tweaking of data using different match functions or index functions or things like that. But noticing this problem, taking cognizance of this problem, yeah, taking care of these problems, Excel in, I think, a couple of years back, they came up with the XLOOKUP function. And just like the letter X is there, this lookup is so strong that it can take a point and go in either direction that you want. So if my data is over here and I want to go to my right side, right bottom, top, left top, anywhere it can go. So I personally, whenever I'm teaching or whenever I'm discussing about XLOOKUP, my take on this is that the X is so powerful that from a single dot, you can go to each and every direction. And that is what XLOOKUP actually means. Top to bottom, left to right, right to left, anything you can do with this XLOOKUP. This is a combination of VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, the lookup function, index match, if error, all bundled into one single function, which is again very simple to use, very effective when we are using it. So just to get an overview of what actually the parameters are, we'll just look at the function very quickly. What all things are there, we'll look into this, and then we'll go to the practical approach. So just give a basis to everybody if you've not actually used VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP, what it does, it finds you a result based on looking at some parallel information. So let's say if I look at this particular row, there is a business development. And if I look in this particular row, I'll see that the start date or the date of joining is 26 Jan 2016. So whenever I'm wanting to look up certain field, I'm saying that in front of business development, I have Anjali female, the date of birth, the start date, and the salary, whatever it is. So this is how your lookup works, that based on this information, I should be able to derive all these informations. I should be able to get all these informations. So when we talk about XLOOKUP, we look at what all it pertains. So obviously the first will be the lookup value. That is what is the basis of your search query. what do you want to put as a search option, and then we'll give you results. The second is the lookup array. I'll just zoom it for everybody. The second is the lookup array. So when we talk about array, array basically means a collection of rows or tables. Generally, it is one column, multiple rows, or one row, multiple column. So array will be either like what I'm selecting, this one column and multiple rows, or let's say I'm selecting this one row and multiple columns. So you will be selecting not all, you don't need to select all the rows in this column, just this also. Selection of multiple rows, single column, or multiple columns, single row will be your array. So once I'm done with it, that means where I want to look at the data. What is the source of my data? So let's say I want to look at business development. That is contained in this particular column. So my B column has the text business development. Ideally, this would be my lookup array. The next is the return array. So basically, once you want me to find business development, you want me to find it in this particular array. Now, what do you want as a result? So let's say I want the salary as a result. So I'll be selecting these cells to say that, okay, if you find business development in this particular array, tell me the salary corresponding to that field, that business development field. So these are the three basic requirements which are compulsorily required whenever we are doing an XLOOKUP function. The next three that we are going to talk about are optional functions, and you may choose to give these fields. You can ignore them also. Even if you give these 1, 2, 3 lookup array and return array as your criteria fields, it will be fine. Your VLOOKUP will work. But just to make it a little bit more powerful, just to have it do some certain extra features, what you can use is these three additional optional fields. So the first will be not found. So let's say I am doing certain things and my lookup value is not there in the lookup array. When we'll be doing this practically, you will be getting more hang of it. Just to give an option, I'm just telling you right now. So whenever I'm looking up at something, let's say I'm not able to find that, it is not there. So Excel generally throws an error that there is an error that is there. You need to look into it. Now that error cell, we are all knowing how it comes. It comes like this, #NA. This at times becomes very disturbing for our data, obstructs with the data. There is always this annoying thing that why is it there? So to counter that, we used to use if error. So if there is an error, please give us this value. Now, XLOOKUP is inbuilt with this feature that if there is an error, if your formula is erroneous, or if you're not able to find something, it will give you an option that, okay, tell me what do you want to put in place of that. The next is the match mode. Match mode is again optional, and it will give you 4 separate options as to what do you want to match. So the first is exact match. This is set by default. So always if I type in business development, it will always search business development only. The next is exact match, or next smallest. Yeah, exact match or next smallest. So it is giving me whatever is the next smallest field that is available. It will give me that. This actually means that if it has the exact match, it will give you an exact match. If it does not have the exact match, it will give you whatever is the nearest to the smaller value. Similarly, the next will be exact match and the next larger. So whatever is the next larger value available, that will show you. The last is that 2 that is written over here. This means wildcard match. This is again a very powerful feature that they have introduced here. It used to be in VLOOKUP also, but adding this here is again going to be very powerful. This is something we'll be looking at whenever we are doing our examples. Just to put it across, so let's say I have multiple ledgers where the word sale is mentioned. Wherever that sale is mentioned, I want all those solutions with me. So we'll be looking at how to attain all those solutions. The next is search mode. So like I told you that Excel has the power, or XLOOKUP has the power to search it all across, top, bottom, left, right. So all you have to do you have to put search mode, that you want the answer from top or you want the answer from bottom. VLOOKUP always gave us the answer from top. So by that, if business development is coming twice in my sheet, it will give me the answer from top only. VLOOKUP does that. But XLOOKUP will actually give you the answer from bottom also. This is the option that will enable you to see that, okay, what is the option from bottom? This will be particularly helpful where you want to find the last date of a transaction. Say, for example, so let's say my ledger of sales is getting hit every 2-3 days, everything. I have it sorted in ascending order, and I want to know what is the last value of sale that I have made. In that case, I'll just select my sales ledger. We'll be doing all of these right now, but just to give you a context, we'll be selecting or finding that sales ledger, and then we'll be searching from bottom. So whatever is the last date, it will give you that option. It also has binary search and binary search descending, but that is not so much useful in day-to-day, so I'll not be going into that. Till now, we have just discussed the attributes of VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP. Now let us look at how to apply it. So here I have a very simple data with myself. I have the department, the name of person, their gender, date of birth, start date, and salary. This is a very simple data that we have available, and we'll be using this to make certain different permutation combinations and applying XLOOKUP. Now let us go with the very simple one. I want the salary based on the name. So if I look at here, just a second. If I look at this particular table here, I'll find my own name at here, Nikita. And this is the salary that I'm drawing currently right now. This is only available here because I can see this data quickly. This is a very small data. I can just look at what is the salary going on over here. But let's say, for example, I want to put an Excel formula for this. So what I'll do is I'll put a formula over here. Is equal to XLOOKUP is how I'm going to start. Now, just look at the syntax over here. Excel has also introduced this feature where you can move this line so that it does not obstruct you if you want to highlight it. So in this case, this is the lookup value. Then there is lookup array, return array. Whatever is in the square brackets, that is optional. So Excel itself tells you whenever you're typing the formula, what do you need to do, what is optional, what is compulsory. So my lookup value will be Nikita. Now, what will be the lookup array? If somebody wants to tell it in the chat box also, what column will it be? You can just simply type it in here. So somebody says C, correct? It will be column C. So I'll just continue with my formula. I'll select this like here. Because my names are in vertical format, I'll be selecting that. I'm freezing it for my reference. Now, unlike VLOOKUP, what we used to do in VLOOKUP is we used to select the entire thing because I want the entire thing. I want my answer, which is somewhere in column G. So I used to select this entire thing in VLOOKUP. But now I'll not be selecting that entire thing. I'll only be selecting one column, multiple rows, where my name is there. So let me just freeze this. This is going to be my lookup array, as you can see from the formula. Sorry. As you can see from the formula, this is my lookup array. I'm dragging this over here. Right. Now, if I put a comma, now it is saying what is your return array. So my return array would obviously be G. I'm just selecting this. You have to be a little bit careful to ensure that the rows that you are selecting are equal. So it should not be that I have selected name from 10, but salary from 11. That will not give you proper results. Be sure that the rows that you are selecting in both the arrays, that is C10 corresponds to G10, same row, C25 and G25, same row. So you have to be careful of that. Now I'm not using any of my optional fields. I'm just closing my bracket over here. So here you can see the formula XLOOKUP Nikita. This is my lookup array. This is my return array, and I'm just closing it. So right now here my salary is coming as 50,800, whatever. This is the salary that is coming over here. Now one thing is there that I've hard coded this formula to say for Nikita. I have to go into the formula and change this name again and again if I want to see different results. Let's change this. I'm giving this cell reference over here. So whatever is the value in cell C29, it will be looking that up and the rest will work the same. Now also it is giving me same particular salary figure. Now let me change that. Let me just put Vikram. If I do this, it is giving me 1,09,000 salary. So now I've created a dynamic function which depends upon this particular cell over here. This particular cell over here it depends upon, and it is very helpful for me. If I just want to see the salary, let's say Nidhi, I'll just change it and it will be changed, it will come accordingly. Now, yes, definitely. That example I'm going to take, but just give me a minute. I'll come to that example of Anjali also. So somebody in the chat had said to take the example of Anjali. Since there are two names with the name of Anjali, we'll be going into that in depth. Let's keep it simple for right now. G29, okay. This is the formula, sir. This is the formula, if you can see here. Right. So now I'm going to put a name where I've kept it Nidhi and that cell is yellow. I'm going to put a name which is not saying Nidhi or which is not even in this list also. So let me just put Sumit. Let's put our sir's name over here. And it is saying NA. Here only it is telling that since Sumit is not to be found in any of these names, your result will be NA. So this is the thing that worked in, that was in VLOOKUP also, that whenever the result is not there, it will say NA. But we can fix that right away. We can just do this F2 and go here. Select our next thing if not found. So if my name is not found in the array, I want to say employee name incorrect. Now just note that I have put this in quotes because it is text. Excel will not read text and formulas unless you put it in quotes. So I've just mentioned employee name incorrect and I'll put enter. Now my XLOOKUP is doing the entire thing if error is redundant for this. As soon as I get something employee name incorrect, as soon as I get a name which is not there in my array, it will show this. Let me again put Nikita, it will give me the salary. So with one function, you're able to do all this. You're able to get the salary. You're able to see if the employee ID does not exist. You can check your data and do this. Next, let's go on salary based on age. Now what I've done is I've kept one example over here. Now if you see, I have a lot of people with this age. I've mentioned their date of birth and I'll get the age accordingly. So I want to find out what a person who was say born near to 1st May 90 is drawing. So if I look at my data, this is a person. Oh, it's me again. Okay. 30th Jan 90. This is also one data. Then if I see here services 23rd July 90. There was one more cell, I think. Let me just put this 1st May 90. This I'm doing it manually. I've just added this 1st May 90. Now let's say I want to see the salary based on age. Again, I'll just put a simple XLOOKUP formula. This will be my lookup value. This time I don't want the name to be the source. I want the date of birth. So I'll just put this column. And my solution again, I just want the salary based on age. So if I do this, I'm getting the salary based on age is 89,757. Somebody born on 1st May 90 is still working over here and they are currently drawing this particular salary. Let's say, for example, this person was not born on 1st of May. This person was born on 3rd of May. Now, since my value is not matching over here, since my value is not at all matching over here, it is giving me an NA. Now, let's say I want, or my boss says, okay, just give me the nearest to 1st May. Then if there's not a 1st May person, give me the nearest to 1st May 90. Now what to do in that case? Again, I'll not go into manually searching this data. I'll use that match mode function. So whether I want the exact match or the next smaller item, exact match or the next bigger item. In my case, I want to see whoever was born after 1st May 90, but near about to that age, maybe 1st June, maybe 1st July, like that. So I just want that particular date. So in this case, the relevant entry will be this exact match or the next larger item. First May, next larger item will be 3rd May, 4th May, 5th May, like that. So I'll just put this, I'll put here 1. See, I did not give any if error thing over here. If not found, I kept it blank. So if there's anywhere going to be an error, it will say any only. I have not put that particular thing over here. I am simply moving on to the next. Because these are optional fields, I don't have to put each and every one of them. I can pick and choose as I wish. So I've ignored that if error thing and I've just said match mode is 1. Again, match mode 1 means exact match of the next larger item. I'll select this, I'll press 1 and I'll click on OK. Again, now it is giving me 89,557. It is giving me this particular salary over here. Now, let me just remove this date. Then it will show you what it is doing. If the person from 1st May 90, 3rd May is not available, from the data which I can see over here, it will go to 30th June, so 23rd July, because I selected larger, not smaller, larger. So let me just remove this. Automatically, if you can see over here, my salary went to 40,000 because now it is picking this person, Anjali A. It is picking this person and it is showing this particular salary. And since I already removed the date, I hope this was clear. This helps you to find the nearest item, maybe not very relevant when we are doing our financial statements reporting, but nevertheless an option. This will help us when we are deciding the tax slabs. So let's say somebody draws a salary of 7,50,000. So for them, the slab rate would be 20%. But now how to find that? How to see what is it nearest to? So I can simply construct an example over here. Let's say my salary is 7,50,000. These are my, okay. These are my tax rate. If it is up to 2,50,000, my tax is 0. If it is up to 5 lakh, it is 5. If it is up to 10 lakh, it is 20. And if it is greater than 10 lakh, let's put 10 lakh 1, then it is 30. I'm not taking the incremental thing right now. I'm just taking a flat slab rate. So now in this case, anybody who wants to attempt, what will be the lookup value? If you could tell me what will be the lookup value. Sorry, this should be 5 lakhs. If I am to create a next lookup right now, what will be the lookup value for this particular formula? I want to know what will be the slab rate of the person whose salary is 7,50,000 rupees. Okay, somebody says 7,50,000 rupees. Anybody else? You can unmute also if you want. Sir, since you were daring enough to give me first answer, I would like you to unmute or type in the comment as to how this formula would work. Jagnivas, sir. Okay, so one thing, sorry, very sorry, 5 lakh is not 5%. 5 lakh, 1 rupees will be 5%. That we have to take care of. So, okay, sir was kind enough to give me one answer. I'll construct. So my lookup value will be 7,50,000. Now, what will be the rate? What will be the lookup array? This, because this is giving me my turnover, income. This is giving me my income, so it will be the lookup array. The return array will be this. If I were to simply apply this formula, it will give me an NA, because 7,50,000 is not amongst these particular entries. Next, what I can do is, if not found is not relevant to me, next I can select the match mode. So in this case, let me just try it, -1. What comes here? 5%. So for this person, -1 will, is giving me the next smallest result, because till 5 lakh to 10 lakh, my salary is, my tax rate is 5%. So I want whatever was the smallest figure from 7,50,000, that will be my slab tax rate. I don't want that. I don't want that. My turnover, my salary will be between 5 lakh to 10 lakh will be 20%. So -1 will not give me the proper answer. 7,50,000 person has to pay tax of 20%. So in this case, let me put this exact match or the next larger item. If I put this, now it is giving me 20%. Ma'am, amount is 8.5 lakhs. I think it is 7.5 I've written over here. If amount is okay. So let me just take that example also. If it is 8,50,000, then also I'm falling in the ratio of 20%. I have to pay the tax rate of 20%. If it is, let's say, 2,50,000, it is 0 because I'm not required to pay salary on that. This should be 5. If it is 5 lakhs, it should be 5% only. If it is 10 lakh, at 10 lakh also, I'm only required to pay 20%. But let's say it's 10 lakh 2 rupees. It is not giving me the answer over here. So here, if it is not giving me the answer, this should be the formula. See, when you are doing these formulas, you'll get a lot of things available over here. It should be, I can do this. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I'll be taking that example also, sir. Wherever XLOOKUP is more helpful than VLOOKUP, I'll be taking those examples also. So I've just put an upper limit over here. Say, for example, 1 crore is the income. So if it crosses 10 lakh rupees, it will be 30%. So this is how your next near to next smaller to can work. And this is how you can take it up. Let me just clear it once. Yeah. So this is again back to our example here. Now, let me take Sir's example only. Wherever VLOOKUP helps, VLOOKUP fails, but XLOOKUP helps. So let me say I want to find the name based on the date of birth. What we did here is we found the salary based on date of birth, but now I want to find the name based on date of birth. Now what will I do? If you can help me construct this formula in VLOOKUP, sir, how would you have put this in VLOOKUP? I want to find the name based on this age.
In VLOOKUP, madam, we need to shift this C column ahead of that date of birth.
Okay. So what sir is saying that this date of birth should somewhere be on the left side of name. So ideally this should be like, just a second. The data should have been like this. Right, sir? This is what we have to do.
Right.
This XLOOKUP has fixed this problem also. Sir, can
Hello?
you... Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, ma'am. Can you give me some examples of if formula?
Sir, we'll stick to the session right now. Whatever it is, I'll take it by 7:45 so we can conclude that also.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. Right. So I think, Arpit sir, we were discussing here whether you can try and construct the XLOOKUP formula over here now.
Okay, XLOOKUP I think uses the different arrays. The return array is different and the search array is.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So whether you can help me make this formula?
Is equal to XLOOKUP.
Yes.
Then the you want to search the date. Then come to column number C31.
Okay, sir.
Comma. The search array is the date. Column of date.
So
Date
column
of birth.
E in this case, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Comma. Then you want the names column C. Freeze this column. Comma enter.
It will give me this because the date of birth does not exist. So I'll have to do that again, approx match and everything. Let me make it simpler right now. I'm just putting this date over here. So it is giving me Keshav. That person is name is Keshav. So here we can see that the date of birth was in the right column. XLOOKUP was in left, but still it worked. It can work in any direction, any which way you want, sir.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Right. One more problem with VLOOKUP, sir, which you had rightly pointed out. Say, for example, I'm doing this only. VLOOKUP, I'm taking this date, for example, or I'm taking this 10th October 1992, for example. Now I'm going to put VLOOKUP this. VLOOKUP this. This is my lookup value. This is my table array, not search array, table array. I'm tracing it, and this is in my column second. So I'll put second. It is giving me Anjali. 9th October 92 is Anjali. Now let's say, for example, somebody came in and entered one row here, entered one column here, added one column here. Now my answer is distorted because it is no longer second column reference, it's the third column reference now. We used to fix it with match function, many functions we used to use, but all of them had some limitations. If I do it here, if I add one column over here, my answer will still remain the same. I can add a column over here also. My answer will still remain the same because it is not depending upon any table. It is depending upon a single column. You can shift it anywhere. You can cut, copy, paste it anywhere. Your answer will not change. So these are the few ways where XLOOKUP is quite powerful when you compare it to VLOOKUP. You have to give it try 1-2 times. If you will do now, you will get a very good, easy answer of it, and you will never go back to VLOOKUP. I've not used VLOOKUP in the past year or maybe year and a half or so at all. So XLOOKUP is that powerful, and you'll get your answers quite precisely. So Nivasan sir is saying that what if there are two items of the same name? So I think this has been going on from long. Let us take this particular thing. So I'll take my department as human resources. I'm shifting to some different examples now. Okay. Hiding certain cells. My last item from department. So wherever this department is, I want the last name. Say, for example, human resources. Now let me just construct my XLOOKUP. This is my lookup value. This is my array, and let's say I just want the name. So as I can see over here, Keshav is also very famous today. Keshav is the person who is in human resources. If I see from top of the list, if I put VLOOKUP also, then also same answer would have come. But now I want somebody who is joined at a later stage, or I want to say the person who has joined last. I want that person, assuming that this list is organized in a ascending format. So for that, what I will do is I'll go to my last option, search mode. This search mode will be relevant to me here. So I'm not going if not found, I'm putting a comma, I'm again putting a comma. Whenever my search mode is activated, I'm looking at the options. Now it gives me search first to last. This is by default. It will always search first to last or top to bottom or left to right. What we perceive to be first is either top or left. The second option is search last to first. So it will look at bottom to top. If I do this, if I double click here, it is giving -1. I'll just press enter. So now the person who is in my human resources who joined last, let's say for example, is Pooja. So Pooja will be showing over here. Whatever is the last value will be coming over here. I hope this was clear to everybody. I simply had to do this search mode, change it to -1 for it to see from bottom to top. If there's any other doubt, if there's anything here, let me just know. Or I'll move to a very powerful feature of XLOOKUP, which is getting the entire data in one go. I don't have to put it again and again. This feature is combined. What if there are 3 names? Sorry, Shama sir. Sadly, only top and bottom can be found. First, second, third cannot be done. If there are multiple names, you'll have to go to the unique function or the sort and filter function. We'll be doing that also. That is in our examples. But XLOOKUP is not the correct answer for that. It will have to be done with some other things. So for Ishan sir, I'm going to repeat again, and maybe for others also. If I put a simple plain XLOOKUP over here, so what it is doing, it is searching from top to bottom. As soon as it found human resources right here, it gave me the name of Keshav in my answer here, whatever I've bold. Now I don't want this answer to be Keshav. I want it to search from the bottom. In that case, if I start looking from the bottom, this is the person, human resource row number 20, Pooja. In this case, what I'll have to do is I'll have to amend my XLOOKUP. I'll simply select the last option. See, Excel is very simple, giving you answers very simply. Whatever is the field that you are typing in, it will bold that. So as soon as I want to go to search mode, I'm seeing I've put 3 commas over here and the search mode is activated. That means I've moved past match mode, I've moved past if not found, and I'm at the search mode. Excel is giving you all prompts. Now I'll search last to first. This is the -1 option. If I do this here, I just press enter and my Pooja will come. So now it is searching from bottom to top. Sanjeev sir, just to clarify to you, this will be used with if function in your XLOOKUP. Necessitated, so we'll not be going into that today. Whenever I'm sharing the sheet, I'll make a separate tab for it and I'll put the formula over there so you can refer it. But this will use XLOOKUP or either unique function or filter function, which I think will be too much for our deliberation right now. So this is how our searching from bottom had started over here.
There are 2 more options: binary search, ascending and descending. What are they?
Okay, for binary search, I'll have to create a different data. Okay. Fine. Let's take this example only. I'm hiding certain rows which are not relevant. I'm just taking the human resource. Now let's say, sir, I want to search which employee joined the first, or let's say which employee joined the last. So in my case, Keshav is the person who joined later. Change the year also for benefit. So Keshav is the person who joined somewhere in 2009. Pooja is somebody who joined in 2008. Now for me, if I have a lot of data, I will never know whether this person, what is the date, I'll have to sort it and do all those things. So binary search actually tells you, it does some data in ascending order, descending order, and then it gives you the answer. For a particular example, sadly, it will not work because we are working for person and then we are working for this, again, text. If I'm giving some return array or the lookup array as the date, only then it will go. Binary search is not routinely used because people are not very comfortable with it, but my personal thing is, to put a logic into that sometimes get a bit difficult. So what the best thing you can do is just sort your data accordingly and then put the normal XLOOKUP. That will work much faster and better for you and will not be very much confusing.
Okay, thanks.
Now coming to the last portion of XLOOKUP, how do I get the entire result in one go? So let's say, for example, my VLOOKUP was there and I wanted to find out research and development. Let's say this is the head now. And I want to find out what is the name of the person, the gender of the person, date of birth, place of birth, start date and the salary. I'll have to put 5 VLOOKUP formulas, 5 different formulas I'll have to put for this particular information. This can all be done by XLOOKUP in one go. Simply what you have to do is XLOOKUP, select your lookup value, that is research. Then you select your lookup array, again very simple, whatever we have been doing till now. Fine. Now the return array, I am not selecting one single column. I am selecting all the columns. This will give me all the results. This is the unique function again of Excel 365, that it gives you spill functions also, which goes on to next cells also. So this function will not be combined or confined to this particular cell. It will go into 5 different cells as soon as I press enter. See, it is giving me Ayush, male, This is the date. Again, this is the date and this is the salary drawn. So with one function, I'm able to get five different cell values at one go itself. Now you have to be a little bit careful with this. Just a second. Yeah. Now you have to be a little bit careful with this. I'll apply this. I'll just type it over here. And I'll apply this formula over here once again. So X lookup, this is my lookup array. This is my return array. It is giving me an option of spill. Basically, what this is doing is this is taking this formula into five different cells. You already have something in the adjoining or the next cell. So because of that, it will not give me entire thing. It will just give me the spill function. As soon as I deleted it, it is giving me the formula. Is it possible to exclude some? I'll come to that, sir. So here now what I've done is I have simply removed that sample and it is coming like this. If I want to delete this, I'm just pressing delete on my mail wherever it is written. It is giving me this prompt that we cannot delete this value because this is not a value that is pertaining to cell C44, this particular cell. No, this value is depending upon the formula that is in B44. If you want to delete this, you'll have to delete this entirely. So this is what you have to do over here. Coming to your point of exclude some columns, sir. Frankly, I'll also have to try this. I'm just doing this. Okay, that will not work, sir. I tried something, but what I'm looking at and what approach I had followed, that is not going to work. I'll come back to you if there's a better approach for it. I'll come back to you in form of notes, or maybe in the last session, I'll just send you a note or something like that. We'll be doing that also. But I'm noting this question definitely for my research as well. So this was all about XLOOKUP. We've taken some half an hour, but the topic is such that we do need it in day-to-day life. So I thought to go with the flow in this one. If there's any doubt, I request you to just go through this sheet once. You can just let me know right now also if there's something in the comments or by unmuting yourself. Yes, okay. So I think I missed that point of two Anjalis. Perfect. So let me just again hide all these things. Let's just take this. Now sir is saying that let's say, for example, based on the name Anjali, I want to know the department. This is the lookup value. I'll just put X lookup Anjali. Lookup array and return array. It is giving me business development only because it is matching to the exact name of Anjali. It is not going ahead of something like that. It is matching to the exact name of Anjali. If I do this Anjali A, it will give me services because for this, there are two different Anjalis over here. The field is different. If I were to make it same, then Anjali is not there. Anjali will be business development being the topmost person over here. Let's say I want to take it from the bottom, again, search mode -1, that is bottom to top, it will give me services. So this is how you will take care of the two Anjali problem over here. As the Excel finds an exact match in the name Anjali, this and this are same. It will not move to any other Anjali A, Anjali B option. No, it will just see this particular thing. If it has two same values, then it will search from the top, or you can make it search from the bottom also. So this is how your data will come over here. I hope I was clear, sir. So like I said before also, if you want the both values, we'll be doing in the next, immediately next thing right now. That is a unique sort and filter thing. So we'll be taking this question immediately in this formula. XLOOKUP cannot do that. Thank you for the confirmation, sir. If there's any other doubt, you can just type it in, or we'll move to the next section in just 30 seconds. We can recapitulate that till the time being, and we'll be moving on to the unique sort and filter functions. So these functions also, unique sort and unique sort and filter functions. Right now, or I would say up till now, we used to use different things to do these things. There was a remove duplicate option in the data tab. Sorting was done in this manner. I'll just data sort or data filter, and then we used to sort. And filtering was also done in this manner itself. Excel has changed and revamped the entire thing, where you can use sort, filter, and unique as a formula in Excel, not as a function or as a task in Excel. And you can use these things. Given the formula, I'll just quickly run through the formula. That is, unique will give you whatever, if you have a duplicate item again and again, it will give you unique names. So let's say, for example, it is the list is of some out-of-pocket expenses that somebody has made. So in this case, I've taken that example only. Let's say, for example, Nayan. This person has made 2 out-of-pocket expenses on food and travel also. Similarly, all people have made 2 expenses on food, travel, some other things also. Now, if I want to get a unique list of the people that are there in the organization, for that I can either use a remove duplicates option, or I can use a unique function in Excel. So I'll just give you an example over here. Unique. This is telling me the array. We've discussed array means mostly one column and multiple rows. It can be one row and multiple columns also. So I'm just selecting this unique. It is going up to row number 34 right now, but if I press enter, it will only go up to 16 count. So here, if I see, I had some 31 odd names, but now here, if I see, I have only 16 names over here, right, like this. So this is giving me all the unique values that are there in a single array. This also comes with some optional features, whether you want to see it by column or row. By default, we see it by column only, so that's fine. And the next is exactly once. The next is very important as exactly once. I hope this is visible to all now. Yeah. Exactly once. So this exactly once means, so let's say, for example, I want to see who is the person who has just claimed 1 OPE in the current month. So I can just select this exactly once here as true. By default, it is false, but I can just select this as true. If I do this, only the one person, Lavkush Khandelwal, is a person who has just made one particular expense in the month. Maybe he's forgot to submit his food or travel bill. Maybe he's not made any expense, but yeah, any unique item which you want to find, which is coming only once in the array also, can also be done. By default, this option is not selected. So by default, I'll get all these names together. This is what my unique function does. This becomes very powerful with sort and filter functions, which we'll be discussing. So let's get a base of the sort function. So if you see here the sort function, it tells you what is the sort index. Yeah, it tells you what is the sort index. Sorry, it tells you the array also. 1 second. Sorry, this is not correct. Yeah, it will tell you the array. What is the array that you want to sort? What is the index? What is the column basically you want to use for sorting? What is your order, and whether you want to do it by column or row. So I'll go into this normally. Okay, I have to, okay, let me just repeat the unique function. The purpose of unique function is to find out what unique values you have in your particular data set. So I could have many employees making various expenses in a month, and I want to find out whether all my employees have actually made a claim or not. So let's say I had 40 employees, but only I received the claim file of 35 employees. So that can be found easily by the unique function. I can see what is the unique value over here. Or let's say I have many suppliers, and I want to see how many total suppliers are there. Let's say I have many suppliers and I want to see how many unique values I can find over there. So there also I can either use remove duplicate or I can use this. So we cannot use unique function on multiple columns. I'll have to check it. I'll let you know just by checking it right now. So here, if I do this unique, what I'm getting here is I've selected the entire people that I had over here by this array. It is only giving me unique item. It is not giving me again and again Pooja name or Nayan name or Vikram, not like that. It is just giving me one item for each. I'm just testing something. Sadly, sir, it will not give you unique for two things. Two columns, it will not work. These things work in a single column. Whenever this one hint you can get is whenever it mentions array, array generally means one column, multiple rows, or one row, multiple columns. Not always, but generally it means that only. So here also you will not get your unique in that function or multiple columns. You'll get it for a single column only. That is how you will get the answer. So unique is giving me all the unique names that can be found in an array.
In that sense, you can concatenate these two columns, na, person and qualification in a separate column, and then apply the unique function.
So there is a difference between the two things. Whether I want, there could be one possibility. Just a second. There could be a possibility that the names are written in this fashion. If you want me to say, let's say this. Rest all are same, but this only one name is different, Sumit. It's not over here. Let's say you want me to find out unique between this and this, all of these, then it is not possible. If you want me to find concatenate thing, it will say Pooja and Sumit. Okay, Pooja and Sumit will not come again and again. It will just come once. That is going to be an altogether different solution. I don't think this was the problem statement. If it was a problem statement, yes, we can concatenate and do it, or we can just put the AND function in our formula also. But it will not give you this, all these names and Sumit. It will not give you in one particular column. That it will not do.
Okay, fine, got it.
Right. So if I look into here, I'm getting all my unique things. I want to search it by columns. Most of the times it's columns only. And if I want some item to come exactly once, I can do it true. Otherwise, by default, it is false only. So this was all about the unique function that we had discussed over now. VSlack, sir, will not be discussing VSlack right now. That will get a little bit, again, a little complicated. So we'll just stick to these basic, less complicated functions right now, I would say. Coming to the sort function. Now let us say I want to sort this particular name by ascending order. So what I can do here is I can just put sort and I'm just selecting these names. By default, it will select ascending. By default, it will select A to Z. That will be done by default. I'm just putting this sort function over here and it's giving me all the names. Some names are coming once, some name are coming twice because the data is as such. It has just made a sorting function which we used to do from this data sort or data filter and then do this sort A to Z. Now there's a function available for this. If I combine these two functions, unique and sort, let's see what happens here. So let me do this. Let me first put the unique function for you. I want the unique names over here. I got those unique names. Now what I'll do is I'll simply put the sort function in front of it. Just like this. So what it is doing is, it is first finding the unique functions, then it is sorting them A to Z. As soon as I press this, see only 15 employees are coming. I think it was 16. Yeah, 16 employees are coming in the ascending order. So in one cell itself, I am able to construct a unique and a sort function together. This is going to be very helpful when I want to find the name of my vendors from a big list. I'll just select that list, unique and sort together, and it will be done in a matter of seconds. Alternatively, if I were to put it before, then also it will work. So it will not be like you have to put unique first or sort first. Both the things will give you the same result itself. You can put either of them. Again, it is a spill formula. If you can see this light blue highlighting over here, if you mention anything over here, this formula will again go. So this is giving me a proper ascending order list of unique and sort solutions together. I'll remove certain things now for our next example. If I look at the normal sort of things, let's say I want to sort this particular table from the expense amount. Now, how this will be sort? I'm giving the array as this. Now I'm selecting the entire table. There it is giving me sort index. Sort index means what is the particular number at which you want to sort. So in this case, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing it as this. I'm just closing it. Yeah. So if you see here, the expense amounts, they have been sorted in ascending order, and accordingly my names have also changed. So here this Vikram was coming, but now Nikita is coming as because it is done in ascending order. So you can sort and use this sort index to see what particular column you want to sort at. This is again helpful whenever you are doing this work, whenever you have a bigger table, instead of going in there and sorting it by this particular feature sort over here, you can do it by way of a formula also. That can also help, that can also work. The next we have sort order. Very simple, ascending, descending. So let's say I want descending over here, I'll put -1. All my expenses will come in reverse order now. So it's coming as reverse. Vaishali is coming at the top of the list here. The next is by column. This is again a default feature. By rows is very less that we use. Our data will never be like this. Our data will generally be in standing format only. So my sort by column option is fine. So this is how we can use the sort function to sort our data. When we have multiple data, multiple things, we can use our data or sort options in this fashion. Combined with unique functions, sort becomes very powerful. So I just want to duplicate individual items, and I want them to be in the ascending order. That I can do. Here if I put unique, so now each item, if you see, this is a unique item. Vaishali and the expense amount and the expense type is a unique. If I see Vaishali over here, these are unique items. This is not one single item over here. But let me just put this here. Let me just make it completely duplicate. Now what happened is, see over here I have 31 entries, but now I only have 30 entries because it was able to find 1, 2, 3, 4 same. Vaishali is an executive who's has a food bill of 900 something rupees. It was same, so it removed that. So when you use unique and sort functions together, you'll be able to duplicate all the functions together. Why can't we use G instead of score? For sort. So whenever you're giving data in an array, the question is basically, so here I had mentioned 4. That is the column number. Sir is asking why we can't give this name. We cannot give this name because G column is there, but I'm not starting my data anywhere from A column. So it is not A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It is the 4th column on which we want to sort. So that is why we have to give the numeric value of this. I hope I was clear over here. So sort and unique can be used together to make a very powerful feature. After this, we have the filter function. So sir, I'll just dive into your example of filtering out people who are named Anjali over here and finding what is the department they are working in. Very simply, we are going to do this. So if I were to talk about normal Excel, what would I have done? I have just selected this, put the filter option and make a filter on Anjali. That is it. That is all I had to do to make this work. But to give it a bit more dynamic feel, dynamic nature, and not to do this every time, not to tamper with my source data, but to actually put it somewhere else. Let me remove this filter and let me put a formula over here. Just a second. Yeah. Now what I'll do is I'll put the filter function. It is saying what is the array that you want to filter. So let's just select this array. What do you want to include? So my condition is if the name, I'm selecting the entire name column, is equal to Anjali. Bas. I'm giving a condition in my filter because filters works on conditions only. If this matches, if I'm selecting this, then you give me the result. So I'm giving a condition well in the formula only. Wherever my name matches Anjali, just give me this particular array. Right now here you can see, there are two Anjalis, the business development services, both female, joining date, start date and salary. All the information is coming right over here. So whenever I use the filter function here and I'm giving a criteria in my function over here, I'll get all the unique items. Let's say I just wanted the department, I did not want the entire table. So in that case, let me remove this, let me just put this. So I got that there are two Anjalis working. I don't have the last name right now. There are two Anjalis working. One is in the business department and one is in the services. So sir, I hope your question has been answered in this format. And I hope this particular thing was clear to you all. Just one small thing over here. So let's say I'm writing again the name Sumit. I can link it to this cell also. So now what happened is I'm asking it to filter my data based on the name Sumit. Sumit is not here. The data does not contain the name Sumit. In that case, they have given us again the if error kind of thing, that if it is empty, you just tell us what you want. So I'll just say no data available. As soon as the error is thrown, instead of giving it as an error, it will give you customized text based on your wish that no data is available, or check your employee data, whatever field that you want, whatever text that you want, it will give you that also. So you can create filter functions, you can create these sort of functions to enable you to simply put your data in a filtered format in some other cell. Instead of doing this filtering manually again and again, you can give this one criteria. See, let's say Anjali only. Okay, I got this. Let's say Nayan. Okay, he's in support. Vikram. Okay, he's in services. So this is how I can get all these data again and again very easily. I can just change my value and get the entire array as soon as I want it. I hope I was clear at this unique sort and filter functions. Any doubt, you can unmute, or we'll just resume in another 10-15 seconds. Great. So I think it's 7:13 already, and considering that this round function was something that was required to be discussed, considering our financial reporting and everything. It's a very small function, but it can work wonders for our sort of reporting. So let us look into this. This is can be a little lighter function, so not as complicated as the XLOOKUP function. So I think this will be of interest to and of easier understanding to everybody. So let's just see what the round function does. Like we used to study in school life also and everything. The round basically rounding to the next nearest decimal place, nearest value. That is how we used to round it. Excel also has this function of simply putting the round function. It tells you what is the number that you want to put this formula to. So this is my formula. What is the number and what are the number of digits you want to be rounded. So let's say I just want 2 decimal places. Here I have 4 specific decimal places, but I just want 2 decimal places. So I'll just select this number and I'll say I want 2 decimal places over here. It will simply give me the answer 5.85. Now, mind you, it is rounding up to the upper limit because of the logics that we have studied in school also. This is the 6th number. So since it is 6, it will add your 1 to this earlier digit. And instead of going it as 5.84, it will go as 5.85. If this was, let's say, 3, then it would have gone at 5.84. Simple basic logics of the round function that we used to study also. So let me just do one thing. I'll do this round. This is my number. And the number of digits that I want is this. I'm linking it to a cell instead of putting it in the formula itself. So I just want 1 decimal place. It is giving me 5.8. If I want 2, 5.85. 3, 5.846. If I don't want any decimal place, I'll put 0. So many a times our figures come 7 crore 95 lakh 46,215 rupees and 26 paisa. So when we are talking in 7 crore amounts and everything, that 28 paisa is a little absurd. It messes us with our commas also. Sometimes if I personally look from far away, I think it is not 7 crore. The commas sometimes shift and all those things. So to counter that, you can ideally you should whenever you're working with larger amounts, larger data, you can just put this round function. This also helps that whenever you're uploading it to the portal, filing your returns, you're using some offline tool to file any of your returns, it does not accept more than 2 decimal places. Sometimes the decimal places could be 99999 like that. That will throw you an error, that will again and again keep popping in error, and it will not be visible also very quickly. So instead of that, general practice should be to use a round function over here. Now, what will happen if I put -1? So I've given this example over here. I've given the answer also over here, but let's understand also. So when I was saying 1 places, so it is like decimal and 1 place right of that. Now I'm saying -1. So I don't even want my number to be last digits to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I want it to be 0. So I think in income tax also it is rounded to the next 0, next 10. Whenever you're paying tax or something is there. So in that case also, what I can do is I can copy this, paste it over here. So now it is rounding up or rounding to the next 10 value, nearest 10 value. Again, if I do this, I'll copy it over here. It is rounding to the however number of digits you have mentioned, it will round to that number of zeros. So if I write -5, it will round to the nearest lakh and so on and so forth. So whenever we are doing a bigger financial reporting, whenever we are doing that and we want to give the figures in thousands or lakhs, so all we need to do is, let's say this only, all we need to do is put the number and do the round function. Very simply what we can do is we can, on the top right of the sheet, we can just mention 3. Or some cell we can assign to this particular rounding off and do this. Now my entire sheet, wherever the figures are there, I can simply say I can simply put a formula round. I want to round this function. Number of places will be this, and I'm freezing it so that wherever I copy, this function reference does not change. So that's it. That's all we have to do over here to give it in thousands figure. Alternatively, I can do this divide by 1000 also, so that it comes in thousands in this fashion. Yes, I was coming to that point only, sir. So once I have to give this in thousands and everything, one specific function is there known as m round. So it will round to the next multiple of things. So let's just remove this and put m round over here. So this is my number. and my multiple is 1000. This will also do. Then I'll have to delete it also. This will also do to the next thousands of things, but then I'll have to divide it by 1000 also to get the number in thousands places and everything. So this is how you can use either the round function or the m round function to multiple round it on thousands or anything like that, and make it more dynamic, make it more easier for you to work instead of dividing it by 1000 and using all those separate decimal places. Sumit sir, I would like you to intervene over here as to what exactly the problem that comes is, and whether we are able to solve it with these things, or we would want some different solution also, because I think it is very relevant whenever we are doing financial reporting. If you're here, sir. So we'll catch Sumit sir maybe at the ending stage and ask him this question again. But then for this time being, this is how m round, both the functions will help you to accomplish this. And similarly, like round we have done, there are round up and round down functions also. Yeah, there are round up and round down functions also. So maybe I always want my function to go to the next decimal or next place or the down place, just like we did it in our early stages of life. So you can use the round up and round down function as well. So I think Sahil sir is giving me some comment as to financial, this will be, yeah. So sir, in that case, don't round it like this. So sir is saying that in financial reporting, this should be 37.82 or 83. So if I want to get this resultant, instead of doing
Nikita, I think both the method is correct, whether we can
Yes.
use the decimal figure or we can use the without decimal figure in the financials.
Okay. Okay. If
So,
we use the decimal figure
so you
also,
have calculated these two in H column or I column. Both are the correct way of
both are the same
presentation.
thing. Just to give the example that sir had, you had mentioned here, if we want to achieve this, if we just want to achieve this here, what we'll do is we'll change a little bit of approach. We'll go round this, divide by 1000, and the number of places I want 2. So this is how, because I want 2 decimal places, this is how I can achieve it. So my solution should cater to all the problems, whatever reporting we want to do. So I wanted to just touch upon this. Since we want 2 decimal places in this case, rounded up to the next 1000th and everything, that is why we are doing it in this fashion.
Perfect.
So I think this round thing and everything will assist you in better financial reporting, enabling you that the errors are not made. In one of the documents, in my document itself, I used this, and so I was very careless, or I would say carefree, that again and again I'll not have to do this from the trial balance, getting figures, one formula, do it everywhere, and you are done with it. So this will be very easy for you. The next is text split. This is again a lengthy formula. We'll not be taking everything of this because only the first 2 columns are enough for us to do a lot of things over here. This duplicates, or I would say resembles, your delimiter formula, where we used to simply select this particular data. Go to, I'm not getting it. So I remember the shortcut for this. So this was the function where I had to delimit it. I'll just delimit it, go to next, select my space, and these names will be split into 2 columns. So my text split is doing a similar thing. Text to column, it is doing, yes, thank you for that. I just remember the delimit word. Text to column or delimit, it is doing the similar thing as that. It is giving you an option to select your delimiter, to split it into multiple columns accordingly. So I'll just put the formula. text split. This is also very recent formula. 2 months, 3 months back, it was rolled into Excel 365, MS 365. So this is my text. My column delimiter is this space. So what I'm doing is I'm putting 2 quotes and I'm putting space bar in between. I'm just closing it. So now what it has done is it has split my formula into, split my cell into Ashish Chaudhary like this. If I want to copy this, I'll do this. Now, one thing which I want to highlight to you is here in this particular name, the Pooja Jajwani, it contains 2 particular space. So Excel is treating it as 2 separate delimiters or 2 separate fields for you to split. There is a rectification also in this only. What you can do is ignore empty. So whenever there is 1 space, 2 space, resulting in your empty cell. So this is this cell is my empty cell. If it is resulting in an empty cell, what you can do is here just ignore empty pe do true. Now, even if you put multiple space bars in between, it will only go into 2 cells and not treat each and every space as a different cell. So this can also be very helpful whenever your data has multiple spaces and it's not in a very sanitized or organized format. You can simply do this text delimiter and you can text split, and you can transform your data in a proper fashion, not in a haphazard manner again. Just to reiterate, if I copy the above formula which did not have that ignore empty, see where it is going. It is going all the way here, somewhere over here. So it will not give you a very proper result. You can just do this and select ignore empty true. It will give you a proper answer. One small thing which I wanted to tell you, which I practically use a lot is, and I'm going to take this example only. So when I was researching for text split, I came across this text. I had this particular text and now I wanted to show you this in different cells. So here you can see this is what I had made for you, that these are the attributes, arguments in this formula. This is for this is for that. I had copied it from the net somewhere and then I had split it. So now how are you going to split this particular thing? For this, we'll have to understand one feature of CHAR 10. Don't ask me the logic of this, to be very honest. Just ratta maro, this thing is there. Whenever we are adding line breaks, let's say for example, Nikita, line break, alt enter. I'm adding a line break and I'm doing this. Excel, for this Excel, line break is represented by CHAR bracket mein 10. So character 10 is something Excel recognizes a line break with. So whenever I want my delimiter to be a line break, I'll repeat, I want these particular cells to be split into multiple rows based on the enter, alt enter. Wherever it is doing alt enter, I want it to change into the next column or the next row. So if I do that, text split, this is my text. I don't have a column delimiter this time. I don't want it to spread into columns. I want to spread it into rows. If I want that, I'll select the row delimiter. Row delimiter is CHAR 10. Again, you have to learn this. This is nothing to do with an Excel formula. This is something to do with memory. Learn this, and I want to ignore empty. I don't want alt enter, alt enter. If it is pressed twice, I don't want it to be 2. I just want it to be 1. I'll select 2. That's all. As soon as I press enter, it will go into multiple rows here. So whenever you're copying data from Word, some net file, something where the data is not in ideal format and you want to split it into multiple cells based on alt enter or based on that line break, you can just select this particular text split formula, do this CHAR 10, something you have to learn, and then just select that you don't want multiple or you want to ignore empty cells. It will split into whatever desirable things you want, and then you can play around, you can do your formatting and everything. Surjit sir, all these functions, whatever we have discussed today, they only work in 365, or maybe some functions work in 2021 Excel also. Excel 2007 will not support any of these functions. So I think I think you'll have to upgrade to the newer version of Excel. So this was something practically which I was doing today, which I found to be useful, and I thought to share it with everybody. What you can do here is text split and use it in this fashion. Continuing the same example, I'll take it here. Or we can, yeah. I'm just putting it over here, but we are discussing the text join function once. When we talk about text join, it is the complete opposite of text split. There we were finding a delimiter. Delimiter means something that is separating one or two one or two text files. We were separating it based on the delimiter. Now we are joining it based on a delimiter. So let's say this is a person Pooja. The qualification is CA. Now I want to put it CA Pooja. I want to put it like that. So what I can do here is I can put text join, joining text. My delimiter will be space because I just want a space in between. Or let me put a dash in between. My delimiter will be a dash. I want to ignore empty cells. Ideally, it is best if you ignore empty cells. Always make it true. This is my text one. I want CA to be first. I want Pooja to be second. And then this is my text two. So as soon as I did this, I got a text join based on CA Pooja like that. Now, many of you will say that why could not we use the text join, concat and or concatenate function that I have mentioned over here also. So when we are doing this particular thing, I personally would have used concat function also, because text join is a very, very advanced and strong function. It can join text based on conditions. It can join multiple text, and specifically you don't have to select text in this manner. You can select a range also. Pooja CA, right now I have to change it, but yeah, you can select a range also, and that also will be concatenated or joined very easily. So this is a very simple, easy method of joining it. You can add your conditions into it also. So let's say I only want to find the name of people whenever they are qualified, whenever they are CA. So in this case, I'll again construct this text join. Delimiter will be, let's say, comma this time. I want to ignore empty cells, and my text is my person. This, whenever I gave this, I'm not yet added a condition over here. Now I'll add a condition. If I'm using my text join with if, so I think somebody had asked me in XLOOKUP also how to join these things. So I'm putting if this, wherever I have mentioned the designation, if this is equal to CA, then you take this. Just a second. I think it went a bit quickly. So what I have done is I have given a condition in my text join itself. So wherever the qualification is CA, you take this name. Otherwise, you don't take anything, you take blank. And blank is anyway ignored by the text join function. So if I want, I can use this in many, many dynamic ways. I can create a lot of conditions, and I can join up to 256 text cells, I think. So this again becomes very, very powerful as compared to concatenate or concat, where you have to do this. You have to do this. Each and every cell, you have to select it like this. So this will be very difficult to do when we are talking about concat, concatenate, or AND function. And it will be very simple and probably a cakewalk if I use the text join function. Even if I don't have to use this condition format, then also it becomes very easy if I just want name of all people, let's say. So all my names, I've joined it in one single go. Instead of selecting, concatenating, and doing all those things, I can join it very simply. So text split and text join, opposite functions, very, very powerful. You can do a lot with this. Again, where you have to do it, and you have to click it that, okay, this function is available in Excel. Otherwise, you can use this as many times and however you want to do it. Coming to our original example, which I was saying, text split, I'll try to join these columns back to their original value. So I'll just put this text join. Now I'm putting my delimiter as that line break, which is char 10. I'm ignoring empty cells true, and I'm just selecting this text. So here now, if you see, it is coming in a single cell. If I paste special this, everything is separated by a line break over here, and I can combine multiple things into a single thing. So whenever we are copying a table from Word to Excel, sometimes we get that split option again and again and again, splitting. So to combine that also, I can use text join. One formula combined everything seamlessly and introduce line breaks to my introduce line breaks to my data also. So using this char 10, we can do this very, very easily. It can be done. Any doubts or anything that you want me to repeat? Because I think this particular segment is important also, and maybe got a bit complicated also. Yes, sure. I'll come to the text join and if formula right over here. So I'm just giving a condition that if my designation, that is E7 to E37, is CA, then you take this text value of true is you take this name. Otherwise, you just keep it blank. If you keep it blank, it will not consider anything anyways. Any other question, anybody? Above that, it is not giving any condition. It is just joining all the names in one go. See, now I could have used unique also. It is taking one name twice. Pooja is here, again and again it is taking Pooja name. So let me do this. Instead of giving this range, I'll give this unique and then range. So only the unique names are coming now. Again, you'll have to mix and match multiple formulas to create a strong formula over here. But yeah, I can get all the names with a comma properly in ascending form also if I want, but I'll not go into that, it will be too heavy. But I can get the unique names very easily over here. I think somebody had raised a hand, so you can just unmute and ask me the question.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, if I type 10,000 in a cell,
Yes, sir.
I want to convert in words, automatic, in words,
Okay.
after typing 10,000.
Yes. Sir, I'll have to look into that. There is a
Sorry?
formula. There is a formula, but I am not able to recollect it right now. So I'll have to look into it. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Sir. Spell number. Okay. I think somebody had mentioned it. Spell number. So let me do the spell. I don't think spell number is a proper formula. Pallavi ma'am, I think. Yeah, it is a macro. There is a formula also. Maybe it has come in beta version of 365. I was also reading about it recently, but I'll have to look into it and then verify with you. So coming to the very last discussion, and then the bonus feature as well, is the sequence function. Now, one of the major problems which we face here is, let me take some sample data. So I think everybody is doing this. 1 is equal to this plus 1. Drag it. You get all the serial numbers. Somebody comes in and deletes this and everything is gone. Again and again, this keeps on happening with us. Ultimately, either we'll pay special and do some mistake or some number will be missing out, or we'll again and again change this, keep on changing this, and be honestly frustrated with it. So there is an option, better option to do this is the sequence function. Simply, you can tell it how many rows do you want to go into. So let me take, for example, 50 rows. I'm not giving any column right now. If you want, you can give the start number. So normally we want the start number to be 1. By default also it takes 1, but let me just put it. And it asks me the step, whether I want to step certain numbers or I want to go in flow only. So if I want only odd numbers, I'll do step 2, something like that. Or if I only want 5, 10, 15, 20 like that, so I'll do step 5. Right now I don't want any steps, so I'm just closing this. Now it is started from number 1 and again gone up to 50. I can delete as many rows from between, whatever I want, and it will always go to 50. Because this formula depends on this cell and it is only spilling down. It is not something that is coming over in different cells. It is not a formula that is here. I can keep on deleting it, nothing will happen. So this sequence formula is very helpful whenever we are giving serial numbers, whenever we are giving some numbers, and we don't want it to change based on the, if some user comes in and deletes some row, I don't want my data to be disturbed. So I'll use a sequence function over here. If we need sequence by leaving one row from the table, sir, if you can unmute and ask, because I'm not sure of your question. By leaving one row from the table. I did not understand your question, sir. Sorry. Yes. What if we add new rows? As I told you, sir, it will not impact anywhere. It will go up to 50 only. It will not increase. Since you had given it 50 sequence only, it will go to 50 only. But then you can add, delete, keep on adding like that. We need one blank row having no serial number. So sadly, sequence will not help you in that. It will create a undivided sequence only of whatever kind sequence you want. It is okay, but it will not give a break of cell in between. So what example I was saying, let's say I want to start it from 5 and give step. So this is a table of 5 that is coming here, 5, 10, 15, 20 like that. Anything, sequence may you can give anything, but generally we do this only. We use it for serial numbers only. We can use it for as a combination with a lot of functions, but this is by far, I think, the easiest and best use of this function, because that +1 issue keeps on coming and keeps on creating a problem for us. Sadly, no, sir, it will not work in Excel 97. All these functions, the class today had a, I would say, coverage of 365 functions only. So whatever you have in 365 only, if you have 365 only, then it will work. It will not work otherwise. And in my humble suggestion, Excel 365 is extremely powerful and maybe a bit of an investment, but I think it is worth it when we look at all these functions that we can do. It is absolutely worth. If your work is based on Excel a lot, it is definitely worth the hit. Sir, there is no alternative of this. I'll have to check it. But sir, this particular split function, no, where it is giving resulting in multiple cells, nothing like that is available in 2007. So I don't think it will be available. One thing, sir, what you can try is, there is a function of row. This gives you the row number. So here, this is the 5th row over here. So let's say I just do this. Since I wanted to start from 1, 5 minus 4, and I can drag it. So this will, if I delete something, this will not create a problem. But if I add something, it will create some blank cells in between. But it is still a good workaround. Other than that +1 thing, it is good if I can just do this row function, row, bracket open, bracket close, nothing to write in between, and minus the top one. So if my row, I'm starting from 5th, then -4. So it will give you starting from 1st. This is something you can do. So we are done with our designated syllabus for today. There was one thing of importing images, but I can briefly touch upon it. So just go to your insert tab, illustrations, pictures. You can insert online images, stock images, this device from device also. There are a few things which you can do, play around with that, but this thing will take a little bit longer. So I'll ask maybe Sumit sir to accommodate me in some future session, or maybe we'll give you a small tutorial video with the course lessons so that that can be completed in time. Now I'll want to move to a very, very important and very utility thing, which most of us may be not using, some of us might be using, is the quick access toolbar. So you might have seen many times I've colored my cell based on this value. Or let's say if I just want to put a filter, I'll just do this. I've just, you cannot see my keyboard, but I've just pressed 2 buttons, not alt, sorry, what was it? CL, I think that is. I'm not using that. I'm just putting it on top of here. If I want to completely erase this, I have an eraser on top here. I can erase this. This is my quick access toolbar. Here I can add many features, and the shortcut is very simple. Just press Alt and this will give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I press Alt 5, this will ask me to the color. Let's say I want to do this blue. If I want Alt 3, this will clean everything. This basically is a customized toolbar for you. I have customized it to my need because I generally need the filter, erase, and auto filter functions to the greatest extent. I also need the color to quickly access it by my mouse. So I have created a customized toolbar for myself and added all these features over here. This save option is already there, so I cannot do anything. If you go into earlier versions, it will have the undo and redo options. But anyway, undo and redo, we are very well versed with Control Z. So Control Z, Control Y is on our tips. So we can remove something from here, remove from quick access toolbar. I can go here, I can right click on it again and add to quick access toolbar. I can simply do these things and it will increase my productivity quite a bit, because now let's say to apply filter, all I had to do was press Alt F2. Let's say I've put a filter somewhere. All I have to do is this, clear. So my filters will be cleared, or I can just press Alt and 1. Everything filter has been cleared. Even if my range is not filtered, Alt and 4. I'll just put an auto filter. Auto filter can be accessed from different settings, but I'll just put a filter and it is coming right over here. So as soon as I do this auto filter, it is applying. It is applying on this cell. I'm not very sure why. Maybe I've done something, because if I want to put on Ravita, I just did an auto filter. I'm just working with very small keys, Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3, which can be accessed by the left hand itself. And I'm able to do quickly, do whatever I need the most very quickly. So identify 2, 3 functions, what you're doing on a daily basis. Just go to that particular function. Let's say you want to increase the text, or you want the text to always be available to you. Just right click and add to your quick access toolbar. This will be very easy. You'll not have to go into this entire thing again and again. You can add more complex functions also. Maybe text to columns you want to add it to the quick access toolbar. You can add these. You can just do Alt and 8. Your text to column will be available. So something that you're using repeatedly, something which you want again and again, you can keep adding here and customize your Excel to your own wish. That has helped me a lot and saved a lot of my time, to be honest, to go here and select this, do that. Instead of that, I just simply use my shortcuts and able to achieve it very quickly. So this was one bonus thing which I wanted to tell you. One more bonus thing is if you have Office 365, do check out their beta version. So you'll have to do some settings. You'll have to go to account. And if you go here in Office Insider, change channel, I'll give you an instruction link for that and just sign up for the beta channel. This will help you if you're an Excel enthusiast like me. This will help you to be updated with all the latest functions of Excel which are not yet rolled out to the public. So this will be very beneficial to you if you want to explore, if you want to do new things in Excel, and if you are interested in that particular thing, you should subscribe to the beta channel here. It will take 1 to 3 minutes to add those things, and many new features will be available to you. For example, the text split which came in probably June, I'm recalling June, I've been using for the past 9-10 months at least, because I was enrolled to the beta channel. So one thing, if you like the Excel features and everything, you can explore the beta channel as well and do many more functions and things in Excel. So this was all from my side for Office 365, Excel 365. If there's any question, you can just let me know. I'll be glad to help you. Thank you all for your messages on the chat. So I'll stop my screen for now.
Thank you, Nikita, for your wonderful session as always. And I think most doubt has been cleared by your deliberation.
Thank you so much, sir.
And all participants have enjoyed, and so much thankful from the participant. Kajal, are you there?
Sir, I'm there, but my video is not visible.
Okay. No
Maybe
problem.
that is,
No
yes, sir.
problem. So I would like to conclude the today's session, and tomorrow Sunday we are having a third session at 12 p.m. And thanks to each one of you, especially Nikita, for wonderful
Thank you.
time
Thank you
with
to
all
you,
of
sir,
us.
because during the session also I had some doubts. People were asking doubts, and I thought they were very good doubts. So even I've got some homework to do. I'll let you know of the things that people were asking. So I think thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to have this wonderful session. Thank you, sir.
Thank
And
you.
thank you
Thank
to
you.
all the
Thank you so much, sir.
Ji, over to you, Kajal. Please conclude by vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful knowledge and your time. And let's conclude our session of the today. So we all shall join tomorrow at 12 p.m. for our next session, and I hope you all will be there for the soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kajal.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Nikita,
Thank you so
and thank you to all participants. Thank you so much.